Yes, it's that time again. Over 50, so what? I'm Carol and welcome. I thought we'd kick off today with a reminder about some of the things we've covered in the last few months. When it comes to fitness, anything you do is better than nothing. Any movement is better than nothing. Even standing up burns 9 more calories an hour. So just try standing up watching TV or standing up a bit more often. And of course, 5 minutes a day and you're on your way. So be sure to join us after the break in the 5-minute fitness routine, and it's the first one I've done since I had my foot in the moon boot. And if you'd like to do 5-minute fitness routines every day, just jump on YouTube. Over 50, so what? Then we've been looking at things to help us to feel better. One of them is our body language, standing and walking like a superhero, and smiling at people a bit more often. And of course, keeping connected with your friends and family, talking to someone at least once a day. And then we've done a lot for our brain health, trying new things. We've looked at juggling and dancing and discussion groups. Today, we're going to look at paper craft, which is a great opportunity for you to explore your creativity. Now, we're going to discuss how we can communicate better so that people understand us, even your own partner. We have emotional intelligence expert John Lane Smith. Today on Energy for Life, we welcome back John Lane Smith, the expert in emotional intelligence, or EQ. Now, John is a professional speaker, he's an international best-selling author, and he's studied over 13,000 people from a diverse range of industries. He's helped thousands to shift their mindset, improve their communications, and improve their relationships. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about how we can improve our communications, and we're going to look at some of the differences between men and women. Hi John, welcome back to our show. Nice to see you again.
Lovely to be back, Carol. Lovely to be back.
Now, last time we learnt from you a bit about emotional intelligence and what it was and why we all need to be good at it. Now, today we're going to look at communication and why it's so difficult for people to get communication right.
I think it's absolutely amazing. When you think about the possibility of getting it wrong, it's a bit better idea of why we get it wrong so many times. So when you think of how many words we have, do you know how many words we have in the English language?
Billions.
Be wrong because they're being invented by about 2,000 a year, usually by people of the age of 12 to 18. But in 1994, it went over 1 million words in the English language. The 500 most used words have got 14,000 definitions, and we speak up to so auctioneer level is 240 words a minute, but our subconscious, unconscious brains are working at 600 to 1,000 words a minute. So we're actually out of control. So the biggest challenge we have is that literally every word we say, or even every word we think, so we've got to think before we say. Well, some people don't do that, but every word that we actually say, our subconscious, unconscious brain is actually thinking of 300 to 400. So we've got to supercharge it. We hear a positive or speak a positive word, our subconscious, unconscious brain will come up with 3 to 4 words that will prove that. We speak a negative word, our subconscious, unconscious brain will come up 3 to 4 times the number of words to prove that. Which would you prefer? It's sort of simple, but we're out of control because that is actually happening faster than we can consciously think. So it's really important to understand, just to pause and just go, okay, what would I like to say? What would the outcome of this? Or what is the context of what we're trying to say? So when you look at it, there's a lot of words with a lot of definitions, and everybody wants to hold on to their definition of it. So that's really one of the biggest problems we have. And then we have male and female, and we're never going to understand that. But there are ways of understanding that a little bit.
So what you're saying is that, with all those words, only a certain number get through. So if we're talking to someone, we can expect to be misunderstood because only part of what we're saying is actually going to get through to the person on the receiving end.
Absolutely. So there's a couple of things here. Have you ever asked anybody if they've understood what you've said?
Occasionally.
I'm pleased you say that because there are people who ask it all the time. But the answer to do you understand is yes. Because if you look back to our schooling, all of our training, if we say we didn't understand, we get called dumb. So we don't want to be perceived. So if there's a group of us and the person, the trainer or the teacher or whoever that is said, do you understand what I said? Well, if any one of you say no, that makes us out to be a little less smart than the rest, doesn't it? So we actually build this habit of just saying yes. So what we should be saying is, look, now I've gone through that. Let's say I'm asking you to do something. Instead of saying, do you understand that? One of the best ways would be to say, okay, Carol, what's your take on that? What's your view on that? How do you see that? How would you envision that happening? What does that sound like to you? Does it sound like a good idea? So when you look at how different people take on communication, the first thing I say, what's your take on it? They're more practical people. So if you say, what's your take on it? How do you see it? Or does that sound okay to you? And then if you really listen, they'll come back and say, oh, my take, I don't feel right about it. Or no, that doesn't look right. Or no, that doesn't sound right. So you will find out the different ways they would like to be communicated with, either practically, visually, or auditorily. So you can actually easily find that out from somebody else just by asking those questions. But when you look at all of those words, all of those definitions, all of our experiences in life, what it really comes down to is we need to know that the other person has heard it from their perspective, not from ours.
Now, we've got that sheet of information for people who want to know more about communication and emotional intelligence, etc. They can contact us. So thank you so much for coming on the show again, John. It's absolutely been fun and a delight.
An absolute delight. This is really just scratching the surface. I often say, if I could do a 2-week workshop without notes because it's just so exciting. There are just so many stories. It's all about our stories, isn't it?
Thanks for watching our TV show. Be sure to hit subscribe and then you'll never miss an episode. Jump on Facebook, join our group, get in on the fun, fitness, wellness and inspiration. I'm Carol, over 50. So what?